You've seen the pictures, right? It's probably one of the most famous buildings on the entire planet, an icon of India, a symbol of love. But the Taj Mahal is so much more than just a pretty picture. It's a story of devastating heartbreak, incredible ambition, and pure artistic genius, all written in stone. So let's get into it and uncover the real story. And there it is, instantly recognizable. It was designed to be a vision of paradise right here on Earth. But behind that perfectly calm, serene image, there's a story of deep, personal grief, unbelievable effort, and even a few secrets that might change the way you see it.
So, what's the real deal here? Is it just a fancy tomb, a giant love letter, or a flex of an emperor's power? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig in and find out what the true story is behind this wonder of the world.
Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the tragedy that kicked the whole thing off, then get into the absolutely massive effort it took to build. We'll decode the genius in its design, bust some popular myths, track its journey through time, and finally, see where this incredible icon stands today. All right, every great story has a beginning. And the story of the Taj Mahal, it doesn't start with an architect's drawing. It starts with a broken heart.
So picture this. It's 1631. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan is completely devastated. His favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal, has just died. The court storytellers say his hair turned gray practically overnight. And out of that incredible grief, he decided to do one thing: build a tomb for her so beautiful the world would never forget their love. The main building alone took about 12 years, but the whole project, gardens, gates, everything, took over 2 decades to finish.
Okay, so you have this incredible vision born from personal tragedy. How on earth do you actually build it? Well, with a truly staggering amount of time, manpower, and resources.
First, just think about the time commitment. This wasn't a quick project. We are talking 22 years from start to finish.
And you're not doing something like this with a small crew. Shah Jahan brought in a workforce of 20,000 people, the best sculptors, calligraphers, and artisans from all across the empire.
And to move all the heavy stuff like giant blocks of marble, get this, they used a fleet of over 1,000 elephants.
And the materials themselves? I mean, this was basically a 17th century global supply chain. The stunning white marble, that came from Rajasthan in India. But all the precious stones used for the details were sourced from all over Asia. We're talking jasper from Punjab, jade from China, turquoise from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, and even sapphires all the way from Sri Lanka.
So the scale of this thing is just mind-blowing, right? But what makes it so breathtakingly beautiful? Well, that all comes down to the genius of the design, where every single element means something.
The big secret to its beauty is symmetry. I mean, perfect, flawless symmetry. If you could draw a line right down the middle, the left half is an exact mirror of the right. Now, this isn't just to look nice. In Islamic design, it represents harmony, balance, and divine perfection. Fun fact: the only thing that breaks this perfect symmetry is Shah Jahan's own casket, which was placed next to his wife's years later. Now, if you look really close at the marble walls, you'll see these incredibly delicate flowers in script. You might think they're painted on, but no way. It's a technique called pietra dura, where artists would carve out the marble and then perfectly fit tiny hand-cut slivers of precious stones right into the surface. It is unbelievably precise work. And here's a detail that a lot of visitors miss. You see those 2 incredibly ornate tombs right there in the main chamber? Well, guess what? They're actually empty. They're just for show. Following tradition, the real graves of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan are in a plain, quiet crypt directly underneath, away from the public eye. You know, when a place becomes this famous, some wild stories are bound to pop up. So let's do a little myth-busting and separate the facts from the fiction. All right, let's tackle the 2 biggest legends. First, you've probably heard the one about a second matching Taj Mahal made of black marble that was supposed to be built across the river for Shah Jahan. It's a great story, but archaeologists have found 0 evidence for it. What they thought were foundations was just the dark reflection in a garden pool. And what about that horrible story that the emperor had the artisans' hands cut off so they could never build anything so beautiful again? It's a popular, gruesome legend, but again, there's absolutely no historical proof it ever happened. The real story is amazing enough.
So the Taj is finally built. A masterpiece is complete, but its story is far from over. Like any ancient wonder, it had a long journey ahead, and honestly, it almost didn't survive. For a while there, after the Mughal Empire weakened, things looked pretty grim. The Taj Mahal was neglected, and during the Indian Rebellion in 1857, it was actually vandalized by soldiers who pried precious stones right out of the walls. It was falling apart. But then, at the end of the 19th century, the British Viceroy, a man named Lord Curzon, ordered a huge restoration project that basically saved it from ruin. And in 1983, it got the global recognition it deserved, becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And wow, you can really see just how bad things got in old photos from that time. I mean, look at this. The gardens are all overgrown, the waterways are a mess, the whole place just looks abandoned. It took a massive, massive effort to bring it back to its original glory.
Okay, so let's fast forward to today. After almost 400 years, what does the Taj Mahal mean to us now, and what's next for this incredible monument?
You know, I think this quote from UNESCO really just hits the nail on the head. It calls it one of the universally admired masterpieces of the world's heritage. It's not just for one country or one culture, it belongs to all of us. And that's why millions and millions of people still come to see it every single year. Its power to just make you stand there in awe hasn't faded one bit.
But here's the thing. All that fame comes with a price. Today, the Taj Mahal is facing some serious modern threats. Air pollution is actually staining that brilliant white marble yellow, and just the sheer number of visitors puts a huge strain on the ancient structure. So that leaves all of us with a really important question. How do we protect this monument, this incredible symbol of love, so that its story can still be told for hundreds of years to come?